We now come on to the chapter Mending Walls by Robert Frost, and before we go on to the poem, we'll just first see the picture and the exercise based on it. What are the first thoughts that come to your mind when you see the pictures? Now the first picture and the second one, and suggest three basic differences. Now the first picture shows you the sharing attitude. Two children are playing, they are happy, they are collaborating. Then love and compassion is seen. Then friendly, good understanding could be seen in these pictures. Coming to the next one, the second picture shows the fight, then there's lack of understanding, quarreling, and then they are not ready to accept each other. So this is what they are showing in these two pictures. We'll now move on to the line-wise explanation of the poem Mending Walls, but before that, let us just first quickly go through what Robert Frost, what do we know about him? So, was an American poet. His first poem, My Butterfly, an elegy, was published in 1894 in the New York Independent. Then some of the other well-known poems are Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening and The Road Not Taken. So these are the few of his other works other than the poem Mending Walls. Now we'll read, and each line-wise explanation I'll be telling you. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that sends the frozen ground swell under it, and spills the upper boulders in the sun, and makes gaps even two can pass abreast. So now the poet is talking about the presence of a wall which is not liked by nature. If you see, the nature has created greenery all around, the mountains, the lovely water, the rivers, etc. But it has not created a wall. It can never build up a wall like this. So it is not the creation which nature has done. It is man-made. All these divisions, these partitions, not only just on the ground but in the hearts of a person, are also man-made. So the first line very well proclaims that something there is that doesn't love a wall. This line is indicating that the presence of a wall is never appreciated, never a part of nature. Now, since the nature doesn't like a wall, so what all it does? That sends the frozen ground swell under it. Now the soil during the winters, as the water inside it expands, it makes a crack and it swells up, and because of that spills the upper boulders in the sun. That means the outer limits of the walls at the base get frozen, they expand, the soil expands, the cracks develop, and it loosens the wall. That means the erect wall gets loosened, the stones made in these walls get broken, and they spill all around and spills the upper boulders in the sun. So these walls, the stones of these walls are broken off and they are exposed to the sunlight. That means the upper soil just works as degrading the wall. It degenerates the wall. It doesn't feeds pleasure in the presence of a wall, and makes gaps even two can pass abreast. That means the wall develops gaps, and in those gaps two people can walk in shoulder to shoulder. That means the wall is broken and two people can walk side by side, shoulder to shoulder, and cross it. Then following the next line, the work of hunters is another thing. I have come after them and made repair, where they have left not one stone on a stone, but they would have the rabbit out of hiding to please the yelping dogs. Now, next, the important factor Then in these lines, the poet says that the next person who's responsible is the hunters that they come. Now, as they come and go along, they come, and because of them, the poet is quite often seen making repairs in those walls. Why? Because when they have, most of the time they have not left even a single stone unturned. That means while they are in their hunting process, they try to dismantle the wall which is present, not for anything but to look for the prey, and that is the rabbits which are hiding inside the burrows deep beneath the walls. These hunters, they would just go and grab the rabbits just to please the yelping dogs. That means the yelping dogs are the hunters' dogs who are sniffing and finding out rabbits for them beneath. Now, the next lines. The gaps, I mean, no one has seen them made or heard them made. Now, here the poet is saying that the gaps which are present quite often, in spite of mending the wall and repairing it again and again, these gaps are still found quite often. And how they have appeared, when they have appeared, nobody knows. How these gaps have been made, nobody knows the real reason. This shows that the nature itself is ready to pull down that wall which is made, because the nature also does not like any boundary. Now here the presence of a boundary is signified as a wall between two hearts. Just as one person should not be boundaried with another from another. So in the same way, the presence of a wall shows the demarcations, shows the distinction that this is my area, this is your area, you cannot cross over. So presence of a wall signifies the distance between the two hearts. So that is why the poet is saying that he is not in favor of the wall, neither is the nature. The first line only says something there is that doesn't love a wall. That means the presence of a wall is not liked by the natural forces. We stop here.